Hey guys! So today we are going to talk about learning speed. So let's get into it. Why in the world are we going to talk about learning speed? Well, that's an excellent question. You see, very often I get this question from a lot of different people, where basically it seems to me that a lot of people are very focused, or at least the juniors who are going into programming, they're very focused on what type of education to get, what language to learn first, and basically the sensation that I'm getting is that a lot of people are afraid. What do I mean by afraid? Well, I mean that a lot of people who are not professional programmers, who haven't been programming for all that long and are just getting into it, seem to think that this is a one-fire shot type of thing. It seems to be that people believe that if you start out learning, let's say that you go to school and you learn the wrong programming language, that's going to harm you long term, and that they're not going to get a job, and they're going to be worse off for some reason. Let me tell you how I started out. My education was all in Java, all of it, every single, exclusively Java. At least the education I got here in Gothenburg. I've been studying in a few other places as well, but that was the primary education I had. So once I had gotten my degree and I started working at my first job, I exclusively worked in Node.js. True story. And I kind of learned Node or JavaScript in my spare time as I was studying to be a Java developer. And once I had done that, I became a Java developer. I actually started working as a Node.js developer, as I said. And the job thereafter was also in JavaScript. It's only now that I even touch the JVM in a more consistent manner. I've been doing Java programming for different projects and for smaller companies as a kind of consultancy type of deal, but not like as my primary focus. And now I'm doing Scala. And do you know what I learned from this experience? That adopting new skills and learning quickly is more important than memorizing something. What do I mean by that? Well, it's very simple. If you have the idea that you are going to go to the university, you are going to learn one programming language and a few technology associated with that, and then you're going to spend all your time working in that one language, you are kidding yourself. Or maybe you're a Java or C# person. Sorry, I didn't say that. I didn't mean that. That's not true. It's a programmer joke. Software IT is industry joke. Java and C# people know more than just that. But anywho, so what I'm telling you is that the programming language that you learn as your first language is not necessarily the programming language that you're going to spend all your time in. In fact, odds are that by the end of your career, you're going to have had experience with more than just a few languages. You're going to be good at some of them and decent at some of them and really shit at some of them, but you're going to be exposed to them. Programming, trust me on this. Software development and programming and all this stuff, this is a lifelong learning experience, guys. This is not something that you learn once at school and then you just stick with that for the rest of your for all time. That's not how it works. There are professions out there where this is the case. Programming and software development is a lifelong type of deal. As long as you are in this industry, you are going to have to learn new things. And the sad truth, well, it depends on your viewpoint. It could be a sad truth, or it could be an extremely interesting and engaging thing as well. And the thing is that the stuff that you learn in school, or the things that you learn on your first year as a software developer, is most likely going to be changed fairly radically between 6 months to a few years. So keeping yourself updated is actually more important than memorizing something. Think of it this way. It's actually so common that software developers change jobs and technologies get changed, and that tech stacks differ, and like something new revolutionary comes along, that it's actually much more beneficial for you to be really good at learning something new fairly quickly and understanding basically how it works, and get decent very quickly at something, as opposed to becoming some type of encyclopedia of knowledge on one specific thing. Unless, of course, you work in C# or Java. Sorry. It's not really true, but I hope we can all kind of laugh about this and just agree a little bit on it. But as I said, for the vast majority of developers, you are going to trust me, you're going to be much better off by simply adopting the mindset that it's good for you and healthy for you to just have a natural curiosity for things and learn things quickly, as opposed to trying to read absolutely everything about one thing. And I mean, you can go that route too. There's nothing wrong with being a specialist or getting to be really, really good at one thing. But trust me, for most of us, you're gonna be better off going for speed, learning quickly, as opposed to memorizing absolutely everything about something. And this is why I keep telling people who are forcing themselves to read. Learning is always a good thing, guys. But if you are not feeling engaged by something specific, and you don't feel that this is giving you something, unless that thing is really, really important for your end goals, don't force it so much. Because odds are, well, depending on what it is, of course, that it's going to change, or that you might find some more enjoyment somewhere else and do something differently. Because trust me, programming and software development is so massive that you can try, wow, there's so much stuff going on, guys. You can try out so many different things, and at least from my experience, it's actually very healthy for you to do this. So tying back to what I was saying earlier about my path through things, this is why I've been telling you in a few other videos that if you want to have the best start, it's not so important that you pick the perfect programming language. It's just, in my personal opinion, fairly good if you pick a programming language that is very similar to other languages. That's why I keep telling people that Java and C# are very good beginner languages, because they will give you a really good start in your career, because there is a lot of jobs, and the syntax and the way of thinking and the way of working is very similar to almost all other programming languages. But going with something like Elixir, or say Haskell or F# or one of these languages as your absolute first programming language is not as ideal, because they're so different from they're not so common in the workplace, and they're very different from how traditional programming works. So what I want you to end on here, and I want you to take this away from this little video of mine. Don't focus so much on memorizing everything about one specific concept. Try to have the mindset that continuous learning is more important, because the tools change all the time. And what you're better off doing is to try to see the patterns. Try to figure out because most of these tools are doing similar things. Try to figure out these similarities, because when you start seeing a red thread that goes through all of these tools that you're learning continuously, you will learn much quicker. When you start to understand the concepts that all these tools are tying into, and you have a little bit of experience, you will actually find that you can learn new things much quicker. And that's going to be a really great thing for you as you progress through your career. Have a great day.